Hello and welcome back everyone to part 2 of our lovely playthrough here through the Reconquered campaign, mission number 8 in good old Milan. That's right, it's the Hannibal mission. And we are continuing on from our previous save where we ended off last time. I had some time this morning, so we're going to be doing a recording here as we are able. So last time, we set up kind of our basic infrastructure here. We got our kind of early game economy going. We've got some wood, we've got some clay and sand. We built our quarries over here with our marble and stone, which we just got up. And so our economy's not huge, but it's starting to take shape, which is what we want to see. But if you'll take a look, we still have these small hovels, not the best. I think it's time we start leveling up this block and really get it to as big as we can get it to maximize our workforce. We are enemies distant as well, so we're going to have to start thinking about the defense of our city sooner rather than later. And I'm going to show you guys a bit of a trick I like to do on this map now to help with that in case you're struggling. But first, if we go with our advisors real quick, right now we have room for 69, which, nice, but isn't going to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and build my theater and my school. I used to do theater library, but someone commented in the stream before that schools are, I mean, not only are they a little bit cheaper, but they have less employees. I think the library takes 20 and the school takes 10. Which isn't really a big deal if you're playing normally, but because I've been doing a 9x9 challenge on Twitch, twitch.tv/ArthurValentine, by the way, if you're not following. Every pleb you have is really important because you're making these really inefficient square blocks. And that means you really need to have your labor allocated in a good way so that you can, how do I say this? So that really all of your plebs are being used in a manner that's most efficient. When you have these big blocks like this that kind of stretch out and you get, huge influxes of plebs all at once, it's not that big of a deal. You have a library instead of a school. You're probably never going to feel the sting of just not having enough people, but also look at this poor guy here. He's just stuck forever, isn't he? I don't think there's any way for me to get rid of him. He's just eternity locked in holding that cart in the middle of the grass. Oh well. But either way, I think you guys get what I'm saying here. If you're just playing this normally, it's never going to bother you. It's not going to be a big deal. But if you're trying to do something silly, like have a bunch of 9x9s, you're going to start to feel a pinch sooner rather than later. So getting schools instead of libraries, it's probably a decent decision. Now, there is a problem here you've probably seen, and that is we don't really have a lot of food. We're just eating up all this grain we're producing really fast. And part of that is because, well, your streamer here, your guy, has been just setting this to getting wheat here instead of shipping it over with a cart pusher. Because it's pretty close, right? I mean, he can grab 16 of them, he dumps excuse me, I almost swore. Excuse me, YouTube. I cut myself off, relax. It's more efficient to have the ox cart, like we have an ox cart here going from here to here, and it's just constantly moving it out. But this guy, it's just this one guy, and it'll probably end up being okay. I think it'll be fine, but eventually we should fix that. Right now I'm not going to do it yet. I'm waiting for my unemployment to rebalance here, so I have enough people. But it's it's one of those things. Even if you're pretty close like this, just get a cart. Just cart it over. It's fine. We've got plenty of plebs moving in. If I go over to my my available capacity is 318, and that's with some small tents here because of the starving plebs. So that's not too bad. I do want to maybe fill in some of the blanks here and get a couple of Auraria or something, just to make it look a little bit nicer. It's purely aesthetic, so we'll do that. And now that we have enough coming in, we'll be adding more houses on this side as well, but I don't have to do that just yet. I'd rather just wait until we have a good food circulation here, and then we can add more as necessary. But what are we going to do with all these plebs? It's July right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our trade. Let's look at our economy, because that's what we really want to be doing. We want to be growing our economy in stride so we can pay for all these forts and these soldiers we're going to need. So we have Genoa here. And we're halfway through the year. We're 13 of 30 clay, 15 of 50 timber, 13 of 60 sand. So we could be doing better there. And then over here at Aratium, we have 15 of 16 marble, so we're actually almost completely sold out of marble there. We only have one more to sell, and 33 of 45 stone. So this is going to finish very soon, and we're not going to be able to sell anything more to Aratium because we're not getting any vines yet. So getting vines could be a good thing. We might want to do that. Massilia here is 2,400 to open, and I'm sorry, Benoria is 1,500. So Benoria is kind of our next logical step in terms of price to open. And also they buy a lot of weapons and they buy a lot of bricks. If we go here to our prices set by Rome here, weapons get us 155 and bricks get us 90. So weapons are good. Yeah, weapons sell for a good amount and they buy 60 of them a year. Beautiful. 60 a year. Very nice. So weapons I think might be the next thing we're going to try to get. We're going to open up that trade route. So we're going to need some iron. We're going to need some weapons factories. And I actually don't think I can get iron here. Let me open this up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I cannot. Oh, that's right. I actually can't even get iron on this map. That's right. That's the one thing I have to import here is iron. Well, not the only thing, but... so... that means when we factor in the cost of importing the iron... and the iron costs me $30 per. This goes down. It's still worth more. But it's also a bit more of a hassle to set up because I'm going to have to set up like a separate warehouse to receive it and then have weapons around it. I'm probably going to have to send weapons to Rome soon enough anyway, so I will do that. But the bricks are just easier to get running because I already have somewhat of an infrastructure here ready to support it. It's just a matter of adding onto it. So I think what I might do here is I might add a little bit more sand and clay and then make like a brick area up here. That could be a good thing that we can do in order to take our economy to the next step, especially because we are selling the you-know-what out of the stone and marble. Another thing that I would like to get going is highways. Now, highways are going to help a lot here. Specifically, if we have like tight areas here where we're not going to be building anything else, getting highways here might be a good idea. Up, at the exit is good, and then here is fine and dandy to get highways as well. You can see these guys are walking up this way. So getting a highway line here is going to help out. Now, those are expensive, so we might not do that just yet. But that's on the horizon. That's on the mind. We are now enemies closing. So actually, I was going to add a little bit more stone and clay, or clay and sand here and start bricks. I want to get my military online. It's not going to be huge invasions right away, but it's going to be invasions. So, this map has some curiosities to it. Your main line of defense is going to be right here. This is where you can really funnel the enemy in and have a good killing zone with towers here, and then your troops just holding the line right here where the ballistas tear them to shreds. You can get invaded from here, and here. And this is the one that you're like, because there's an entrance into my city right here. What do I do? Not only can you block this off, but you can actually block both of these off, and then you can build a bridge here and here, and so that when you get invaded in this top part, the AI will actually walk up here and then down this way, and then they just funnel right here to your normal choke point, which is great. I remember when I figured that out, I was like, oh my god, I never have to worry about a second line of defense again on this map. So, that's what we're going to do. In order to block this off, we're actually just going to use... Oh, do I even have them available yet? I don't think I do. I cannot get walls yet, and I can't get palisades yet. So we're not going to do it just yet. But once we have those unlocked, that's what we'll do in order to get these nerds to come over this way. It'll be bueno. Very bueno. Very perfect. Chef's kiss. But I digress. We need to get a military online. And where are we going to get the wheat to support this military? We got a lot of farmland on this map, but we also have a lot of wolves hanging around. And I also want to get vines, right? We also want to get vines so we can sell those, because we're going to be selling out of marble and stone here pretty quickly. So, I think the vines and vine stuff I either might get up here or over here. So for our wheat, because we're going to have another block in this area, I think I might turn these into wheat farms. So let's do that. We'll wheat up here. And even though we're not building a block here right now, it will help support that block. And we can build our supply post right here too. And that will be a nice big boon to our economy. So for now, let's just do... We don't really need another form of food. Yes, let's get that. Let's get this. We have a rock here. So it's making me play some farm Tetris. That is what it is. I don't really like that. I don't really like that, but I think it's fine. I think it's okay. We can kind of do this here, and then we can go right like that, and then we can get a engineer here. We'll get our granary. Let's get the granary up here. It's a bit ugly, but that's alright. You're allowed to be ugly. We'll grab our engineer. Okay, so it covers everything. We'll turn these off, and then we'll keep the supply post on. And then we'll get our supply post right here. And then this will feed our troops. We're still waiting for plebs to move in here, so we don't want to get too crazy. And then we're going to need barracks. I'm going to get 2 barracks, because this is... You can even get 3 on this map if you want, if you're struggling for replacing your troops in time. And my barracks, I think I'm just going to tuck into this corner right here. We'll go barracks, barracks. I'll grab an engineer. We'll line this up, and there we go. It's nice and tucked in, out of the way, and then our forts we're going to build up in this area. Okay, so that looks pretty good for now. This will take care of itself. This I'm a little bit worried about. We have, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 should be more than enough. It feels like it's not right now, but it should be fine. We're not starving yet. And we got a lot of wheat in here, 776, and more coming in. So, I think we're okay. And yeah, we have another big delivery coming, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do, because we're probably, available capacity 226, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more houses here. I'm just going to get a fountain here for now. And let's get some ponds. Ponds are nice. We'll get some large ponds. There we go. Lovely. Okay, that should help us out. We built a lot of oracles. Remember, we can't get small temples on this map, so oracles are bigly important. You want to have your oracles ready. What was that? Oh, we were asked for clay. That's what that was, I think. Let's send that off. And we should have... we have no soldiers to feed. Okay, so let's start getting our first line of defense here. you can put your forts in different places here. You can have like forts in here, but I actually like to build the grand temples over here, or at least Mars up here. So I'm gonna put my forts more on the outside in this area, I think. So let's just clear this up slightly. There we go. And let's get our first javelin fort. I always start with a javelin. Javelins are just good units to have. You know, you can micro them around a little bit. Caesar's giving me his credit card. That's okay. They're effective fighters. They do good damage, and then even when you get just swords in front of them or something, you can just let them just pile on their DPS. It's very nice. It's very good. So these guys are going to come staff themselves up here. We're going to have food coming in over here. And what is wrong here? Why aren't you guys delivering? I know why. It's because I forgot to turn wheat on. There we go. So I knew something was wrong. Okay. So that should be good to go. And now I want to start thinking, because our economy, I think, can support it, I want to start thinking about our opening up our next trade route and getting those bricks. That's going to be pretty important for us here. So let's go ahead and just fill this out so we have a few more people moving into the city. We've got plenty of food here now. We're looking good. And let's think about those bricks. So over here, I'm going to add a little bit more clay. And a little bit more sand. Sand mines really, really fast, so you're never going to need as much sand as you think you're going to need. You know what I mean? It comes out so quickly. Clay is a bit slower, so clay can be a little bit harder to do. Remember, I'm leaving this open on purpose because I'm going to bridge this over here, which actually, once these javelins are done, I'm probably going to come down and kill these wolves so I can take advantage of this area. And maybe set up, you know, this actually, I think this is going to be my vines area, so I can just bring the vines straight up here and we can start selling them. That is a good idea. That's what we're going to do. But that's not what we're doing yet. We are trying to take care of our bricks. I'm going to actually set up highways now, because I want the highway line at least to be partially done, so in my brain I can see, okay, this is a highway zone. Like, this is where I'm going with this. So let's do that. And yeah, I'm just gonna do those for now. The highways are expensive. Don't underestimate the highways. So that'll help the traders get through. And then for our bricks, right? Our bricks, we're going to want to put... Well, first of all, let's see. Bricks, we have 1, 2, 3 things going here. Let's add bricks here. Bricks, I think I'm going to want to stick in this area. I think that's fine. Let's get 1, 2... Go up here if I wanted. 3, 4... 5, 6, maybe like this. And go around like so. Okay, so the engineer reaches that. Okay, 6 is going to be more than enough, I think. We should be able to support this without too many issues. We are poor, and that's because we just rolled over the year, so we weren't selling any of the marble and stone because we had maxed out. So this is going to help our economy. Our beginning of the year is going to look really good financially, and then it's going to kind of dip in the mid-year, and then it's going to suck at the end. Just with how it is right now, so you gotta just kind of keep that in mind. You're gonna have a nice spike of sales at the beginning, but it's gonna be tight at the end. With that in mind, though, we want to go ahead and open up our next trade route for selling these bricks, but we don't have any bricks to sell right now, right? So even if you open it up right now, you think, oh, I'm just gonna open it up right now, you're gonna have traders going in and out of the city, and they're not buying anything. It doesn't help you, so there's no reason to. I'd prefer it myself to wait a little bit until you have some bricks stocked up here, so that when you open the trade route, the first donkeys that come through can just immediately buy something, and that makes it feel a little bit better. So that's what we're gonna do. I think we should still have enough clay and sand to be refilling this, and that should be just fine. But now we are invasion imminent. Oh, yippee skippy. So So we should be getting a message here in a bit that good old Hannibal is saying, hey, wait a minute, I can cross the Alps and lose 75% of my army, but still kick the Italians' asses. So, yeah, that's about to happen. Feels bad, man, but it is what it is. So we'll let that occur, and our employment should still be pretty good here. Our employment, I mean capacity. 217, okay. We still have some available plebs to work with. But I also want to start thinking about adding my second district here. So remember, this is just kind of a feature of this map. Every time you add another block on this map, you need to set up construction first, because you don't have any small temples to get your faith going, which can be a little bit frustrating. It can, if you're not thinking about it and you just set up a district like normal and you add a bunch of houses and then you're like, wait a minute. And then you're gonna have to, you know, set up a huge area to build your large temple, and it's a little bit frustrating. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it can be a little bit, you know. So I'm gonna build this using this granary here. So market and things like that are gonna be on this side. Water is an issue here. So if I get water from maybe here, I can snake it up here and put a reservoir right here. I don't think a reservoir here will actually reach. Yeah, it's a bit tight, isn't it? Now the simpler solution would be to snake from here and just have this guy right here, but we didn't plan for that. So we're gonna make this up as we go. Let's go ahead and have a little bit of space here if we can. So let's actually start from here. Okay, so 24 would actually be connecting here. So we'll go for 22 by 8 here, that's fine. That was not fine. Forget you saw anything. I am not editing this out. It is what it is. You're getting it raw. And then our fountains, I'm gonna, let's see. If I build one here, will this reach? I don't think it will. Oh, no, it's 1 hex. Oh, isn't that sad? Now, I could move this block one hex over this way, and then this would cover it. As it stands, that actually might be the best way for us to do this. So this is, it's slightly tragic, but I'm okay with this. So we're going to do something a little bit silly here. But that's all right. Silly is good. We're going to reservoir here. And I'm just going to put this maybe right here, okay? I'm going to road this just so we have the ability to pass through that. We're going to do this and bring this up like so. There we go. There we go. Okay, and now I just let this unpause for a second. We can get our fountains like this, which is silly, but if it's stupid and it works, then it's not stupid. Always remember. Okay, so that's our second block outlined here. But we're still going to need our large temple. And we're still going to need a hospital and things like that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remember to road this here, because I'm going to have to get on to this area here to get our food. We're going to roadblock like this. We're going to set up kind of the basics here. Our bathhouse can happily fit right here, so that's cool. And our large temple, we're gonna do Venus. It's gonna be happily Venus. Now, you know, the one issue here is that we're not gonna be able to build on the outside as it stands right now. We would want to build houses over here, and then maybe get water up here a little bit. I could build a reservoir like here-ish, and then just have a couple fountains here, and then use this area for houses. That's something we can do. I could get a Grand Temple to Neptune, but these are far-away problems, and I'm fine dealing with far-away problems, well, far away. In other words, don't worry about it. Leave tomorrow's worries for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and unpause really quick here, so let this staff up. Okay. And then what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to get our concrete and stone. It's going to need a tiny bit of marble too. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to actually take everything we need from this area. So it is ugly, but remember, ugly is okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come out this way. This is all temporary, remember, so don't feel like you're messing things up by setting things up in a funny way. Because we can remove all the infrastructure we're making for building this once it's done. You're not committing hard, so don't feel bashful. Just do it. We don't need clay. I don't know why I put clay there. We just need a little bit of sand. Which I'm going to get right there. We're going to need a little bit of stone and marble. Which I can get from here. So let's get a workshop. Concrete. A reservoir here for the concrete. We're going to get a engineer here. I'm going to get that right there. And then we're going to go raw materials, stone. We're just going to get one of each. So stone, marble. We can connect this. We'll get our warehouse. Turn these off, add stone and marble. You can do this a different way than I'm doing it, by the way. I'm just doing it this way. Okay, and then we'll get our architect brother right here. And then our work camp can just get stuck down here for now. Doesn't matter. This user gets upset. That's fine. That doesn't matter. We're just going to let this stuff do its thing. And boom, that's going to take care of itself. Now, we're negative 115 plebs, because I added a lot of infrastructure just to do this, but our available capacity is where it should be. I'm not going to add houses here just yet. I refuse. I could add another house here if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to let it kind of naturally happen here for now. Because remember, we're going to be getting rid of all this stuff. Okay, so this will take care of itself, but we are invasion imminent, and I don't have any frontline lads here. So let's send out that marble. Let's get our swords. There we go. And you know what we need that we didn't build, even though we don't have a lot of money right now, I kind of want to do it. It's June. Our money actually isn't looking good. Ooh, now this is actually an interesting pickle I've got myself in. I wanted to add my military academy right now, but I haven't opened the trade route yet to sell these bricks that I've been making. And I am 8 bricks here. I'm bricks maxing. In fact, we have some guys waiting to deliver bricks as it is. So, if I open this up, it's going to cost me 1,500. I do have bricks to sell. They sell for 90 a pop. Doing some quick maths here. So that's going to be a little more than 700 bucks we get from the first 8 that we sell. So that won't pay for itself right away. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait a tiny bit. And I'm just going to forego the academy for now. We can always add that in a little bit. That's okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and add this final house here, just so we speed up plebs moving in, I think. That's the good plan. I'm just going to try to make sure I don't dead anniversary here, which shouldn't be a problem. The only reason we went in the red was because I added all this stuff right here, and that just... It is what it is. I also wasted too much money here kind of setting this stuff up, but that's fine. This is happening at an unfortunate time, though, because it's July, which means you know that we've already sold as much marble as we're going to sell for the year. And marble's a major moneymaker, so it's gonna be difficult for us to get out of debt right away. Which kind of makes me want to just open up Bononia and start selling those bricks, so we have more sales going on throughout the year. I'm going to take the risk. Bonoria, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And let's start exporting these. We're going to be negative 2,300. But we're going to have stuff to sell right away, which is what we need. We need sales. We need sales and we need plebs, because we're also negative 94. So 2 things we're desperate for. So let's get those online. And look, there's the bricks being sold here. Cool. And we have all the bricks that were kind of hanging out there being delivered. And that got us to minus 1,600. So it's a bit of a gamble, especially considering our plebs aren't really where they need to be, but I'm hoping it pays off. We'll hope. We'll pray. This is annoying, but that's fixable. We'll just drop that there. And that'll cause these to merge. And we can get rid of both of these. That should be fine. There we go. Cool. Minus 72. And we're looking okay. We're looking okay. We're kind of waiting for the invasion to happen. Minus 1,000 now, so... Again, it's going to be a bit tight at the end of the year, but as soon as this rolls over to January, we'll have just a massive influx of funds, and that'll be very, very helpful. So I'm just going to let that do its thing. I'm going to try not to build anything for a little while, so we can just have these finish off. And then, yeah, that should be enough. Large temples, by the way, they only need... Oh, it's 4... Oh, and that's a mausoleum. Excuse me. Excuse me. They only need 2 marble. So we have 1 here, and I think this is our second. Yeah, now we have 2 marble here. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this. We only needed the 2. That's fine. Now, we didn't have to even add that. We could have just taken marble from here. You could have just set it to getting. That would have been probably a better solution for us, because we didn't need marble right away anyway. There's many ways to do this game. You do it the way you just think of doing it at the time, and if you find something more efficient later, good for you. Next time you can do it the more efficient way. It's great. Minus 600, we're in October, so we're getting closer. We're minus 900 because we got to the new month. I think we're going to be able to drag ourselves out of debt without too much issue. Got some bricks here. I'm going to add some more bricks work, so this is constantly full of bricks. That's going to be something we want to do. And then I might set up those weapons. I might start importing that iron and just setting weapons up here so that we can sell those. Because those, even though we're not making the full amount because we're having to buy the iron and produce the weapons, it's still a big influx of cash. And I definitely want to do that. City Pop got to 2K. Okay, great. this is almost done, at least with the first phase. And actually, we can get rid of the... Let's take a look here. Yep, we're 4 of 4 on concrete, which means goodbye to all that stuff. And now our unemployment is looking much better. Perfect. That's what we like to see. So we are going to be redirecting some of that unemployment back into this. It is December, so I do want to check my sales. So, Massilia we haven't opened yet, but they will remember they're going to be doing pottery, furniture, and wine. Okay, Genoa, we maxed out on timber. We did not max out on clay. In fact, we're very low on clay. I don't think this is because we're not producing enough clay. This is because they're preferring to buy other things first. And if we got a caravanserai, this would take care of itself. Like if we got the quantity policy for the caravanserai, they would be able to buy all the rest of this stuff. It's not a super big necessity right away, but that is something to think about. Arateum, again, we maxed out on the stone and marble. Vines is the next thing we really want to get. So even though we opened up Benoria, another way we could have done this to boost our economy is we could have just set up a bunch of vines and started selling that instead. Because vines are pretty good, right? Vines sell for 36. Not bad, not bad. And they buy 70 a year. Hey, considering you're selling out of the other things right away, that's not a bad thing to do. These two, remember, we're not worrying about yet, but Massilia is something I'm curious to open. Not quite yet, because I think I want to do the weapons first. The weapons and the vines first, but we'll see when we get there. I do want to kill off these wolves, and I might have time to do that before we get invaded. So let's send our javelins down there. Three or 4 on stone now. We should be getting 1 more stone here fairly soon. What was that? Oh, that was the emergency notification here. Governor, dire news has reached the Senate that Hannibal Barca, the feared Carthaginian general, is in Hispania and is searching for a path into Italia. They are investigating the Alpine passes that lead toward you and Mediolanum. Okay. So we can now build military stuff here. All military restrictions have been eliminated, and you've gained plus 15 favor to offset potential debts which might stem from funding the military. Okay. So we aren't going to build some defenses right away, and by defenses I mean like our choke point stuff, because we're still in debt. We want to get out of debt before that happens, but we should be getting out of debt very quickly here. It's January now, so the next donkeys that come in, these guys came in December, you can tell, because they didn't buy anything, which is annoying, but we're going to be selling a lot of stuff as soon as we get some fresh donkeys in here, which is perfect. It's going to get us out of debt, which is very, very, very important. There we go. We're out of the red. So we're going to clear up these wolves here. If you guys start shooting at the wolves, that'd be great. Thank you. We're back into debt. That's okay. Go ahead and get a low bridge here. Is this guy gonna rush us? No, he's just gonna take it. Okay. Based wolf, thank you for just dying easily. We'll send the troops back. Okay. And we can get rid of the stone here now. Very nice. And now we just need the marble, which is these two. That's very, very good. Okay. So I think we're in a pretty decent spot here. We've got the second block outlined and almost ready to go for population. I just want to make sure this temple finishes up. We'll add our hospital in here, and then we want to make sure we have more food here, of course, because this is going to run out very quickly. So once this is done, we can get rid of this. We can farm this up with wheat. And we can start really getting our second block into overdrive so we can have just a booming economy. Before I end, though, I'm going to do something real quick to show you guys what I mean. I'm going to block this up with palisades here. There we go. And we can block this off over here, too. And then, over here... I don't think they usually invade from the top right away. So it's not, you know... You're not in dire need to do this, but I'm just going to do it to show you guys. We're going to get a low bridge here. And a low bridge here. So what this is going to do is that if we get invaded from this side, they're going to go up, over, and around, and then they're going to fall into our kill zone right here. It's going to be great. I'm also going to set up a little bit of defenses here. Not a lot, because we don't have a huge amount of money, but a little bit. So let's get some walls going. Like so. And then let's get these like so. And then we can get just a couple towers here for now. And this should help our defenses. And we get our paw. And so this is kind of our basic outline now. We're also going to want to get a academy here soon, so that'll be one of our next purchases, but we'll wait until this is done. Okay, so we made some good progress today. We added our bricks. We got our second block basically started. We got our military, kind of our bare bones military funded up. We've got our supply post here. We got our barracks up here. We got our first forts. We created this little funnel thing so that their troops go around over this way, which is what we're going to want. But there's a lot left to do. Especially we're going to want to expand up this way so we can get more plebs eventually. Our patricians are probably going to go down here, and then we're just going to need money, money, money. Big money is the name of the game. So that is the plan. So we'll go ahead and save it there. I always like to save on the recording here so I can remember to save. There we go. And next time, we'll be getting our first invasions done. We'll be expanding, and we'll be making a big, beautiful economy. Alright everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.